Okay, so tell me why I made a batshit ass crazy follower one time. Okay, so this is what happened. So what happened is I had went to Houston and I had like ran away from home at some point. And I was like living in Houston, living in a hotel for a couple of months. And then what happened is I had got on my TikTok live and I was doing readings and I had said that I was in Houston. And then one of the girls that lived in Houston was like, I live in Houston. So I had followed her. She followed me. Like, I had followed her back. And then we had like DM'd and stuff and exchanged numbers. And then she ended up like coming to the hotel that I was at, and we had ended up like chilling in a car and stuff like that. Anyway, then what had happened is like a couple of weeks later, she had let me stay at her house for the weekend. So I stayed at her house for the weekend, and I ended up like straightening up this girl house when she had came home from work, and she let me stay at her house while she was at work. And then when I had came back to her house, I mean when I she had got home from work, I had straightened up her house. I had cleaned up a little bit because her house was kind of junky. The bitch didn't even say thank you. Not a thank you, I appreciate you, nothing at all. She was fucking ungrateful. First red flag. And then the second thing that happened is that she had let me use like her oracle cards and stuff. So I was like, I had used her oracle cards and I had made some content with it. And then she had like, we were sitting in her living room, and then she had saw the video that I had made with my with her cards, and then she had kind of took a pause, and I felt her energy shift, and I don't know what the fuck got her so pissed off or whatever, but as I pissed her off. And then, but she didn't say anything at all. But she brought it up later, like, yeah, and like my cards, and you were using my cards, and I'm like, you let me use your cards, so why is it an issue? And then what happened is she was talking about like, you're not a guest. And then I had asked her, I was getting cold and stuff like that because I had put my robe on, and she was like, you can turn the AC off. And I was like, well, can you go over there and do it? I don't know where it is. And she was like, it's literally just on the wall. I'm trying my best to accommodate you. And I was just like, bitch. So I was just like, what is wrong with you? What is the issue? And then she just ignored me. So then we ended up like kind of like getting into a little argument and stuff. And then she started like accusing me of like going through her journal. Like the bitch was fucking crazy. She was like, yeah, and I have my journals here, and I thought you were going through my journals. And then the very next day, I ended up like talking to her and stuff because I had spent the night one more time and everything, and I was gonna go back to my hotel the next day. So when I had got up and shit, she was talking about like still bitching about the same thing she was bitching about the day before. Like, yeah, and I have my journals, and I cut her off, and I was like, do you think that I was just going through your stuff? And she was like, well, I don't know what you did. And I was like, okay, so why the fuck are you accusing me of going through your stuff if you don't even know what I did? That's not even within my character to go through your journals. Like, girl, I don't even know where your journals are. So what are you talking about? And she's like, well, I don't know. I just have trust issues. And I was like, but that's not my fucking problem that you got trust issues. You're the one that let me in your house. And now you're getting mad at me like I did something wrong to you. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't know. And then I opened up to you and I wish I have. And I was like, okay, why are you getting mad at me just because you decided to open up to me? And I kept cutting her off. And she goes, let me finish. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, and I have to give you the rest of your clothes. I was like, keep the clothes. I don't want them anyway. Because she had washed some of my clothes. And she's like, no, I don't want any attachments. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to leave. And she's like, no, I'm not letting you leave until I get you these clothes back. I was like, I don't want the fucking clothes. Keep them. And then she didn't listen, and she walked out the door. So what I do is I grab my suitcase, grab my bag, and then I walk out the house, and I close her door. I lock the door behind me. And then I go over to where the Uber was picking me up. And then she comes around from the parking lot because she went to the laundry room to get the laundry. And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I told you I was getting ready to leave. And she was like, but I have your stuff. I was like, okay, give it to me now. And she going, sigh and then walk away. So I was like, okay. The bitch got locked out of her house because she forgot to bring her keys with her because I locked the door behind me thinking she had her keys, but she didn't have them. So she ended up texting me talking about I'm locked out of my house and no, I'm not apologizing. And I was just like, girl, the fact that you switched up on me so quick, it says a lot about you because you're the one that invited me into your house. You're the one that let me into your space. If you to switch up on me the way that you did is your issue. That's on you. And you want to sit up here and blame me for opening up to me. That was your decision. Don't blame me for your fucking decision, you crazy ass bitch. Yeah, the bitch was crazy. So that's the first and last time I'm going to meet a follower on TikTok. Meet a follower. No, never again. Never again.